All right, we're gonna get started. I have the boss, my wife, right here beside me.
Hello.
So she's just off camera right here beside me. She poke her head in maybe and wave. Yeah, there she is. All right. Yeah, Steven. we did have a big cookie. I ate just a little piece of that on Saturday and maybe a piece on Sunday, but mostly those teenagers destroyed that thing. So that's what it's like when you got your youngest is a 16-year-old. Anyway. All right, Pops. Live in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, there's allergies there too, I'm afraid. All right, Mark, I've got my right-hand man, Steven, reaching out to you in the chat to get your information for the crypto summit / crash course deal. Find out what you need, and we'll answer your question you posted in the chat. All right. Hey, Mike from Dallas. All right, everybody, let me know where you're from. We've got, geez, about 100 people here so far. Let me know. We're getting started here in top of the hour, 9 seconds left. This is a shot from something we were doing last night. I'm not gonna, give it away what it is. Pete says he's down the hall in the office here. So, all right, Norfolk, Virginia, Matt, People's Republic of California, huh? Hey. Matt's a card over here. So, big question. Is this a bear market? Is it a bull market? Should we take a vote? Is that an option? Do I have a vote thing? I don't even know. I haven't played with that in Zoom. I don't see a quick way to make a vote. All right. Matt's ready to be a bear. Well, you see, here's the chart I had up last week, right? What does it look like? It looks like we're stuck in between. We've got resistance above us. We've got support down here that we haven't even hit the 144 EMA yet. I was speculating we might hit it before we bounce in earnest. So we've kind of come down, bounced, tested that resistance, couldn't hold it, came down, missed the support, came back up, made a lower high, came back down, and we've kind of got this orange line where we've been holding the bottom of the candle bodies. So right now, it's pretty much sideways. We've got to break above this level right up here, about 44.50, or we need to break below this level down here around 42.95-ish. I'm looking at the S&P 500 futures. For those that don't know, I use the S&P 500 futures because the candles don't generally leave gaps. If we look at the SPX right here, you can see we get these big gaps from the overnight action. And that's not my favorite thing to work with when I'm trying to run some fib levels and use Elliott wave stuff. So I flip over to the futures because they run almost 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. I think it's 23.5 hours nowadays. And they keep changing the hours up on me. But they're open 5 days a week. They open Sunday night about 6 p.m. and they close Friday afternoon about 6 p.m. So that's why I use futures. Now, S&P 500, not super clear. NASDAQ, it did bounce off this 144 EMA. It's created this support box that I drew on here a few days ago. And we're just kind of hanging out. So that red arrow in the way there. Now, what I don't have is the fib drawn on here. If we go from the high to the low, the swing high to the swing low, we haven't really even come up to this 618 level up here. So I expect when we do eventually get up to this level, this is going to be a resistance level up here at 15,185 roughly. And this 144 EMA is going to remain a support level. So again, we're just consolidating at the bottom of the range. That's what we're doing right now. We've got to break above some levels to get higher. and we're just down now low. I mean, we're just down here at the bottom of the range, and the 8 EMA is below the 34 EMA on both the ES and on the NASDAQ. So that indicates a downturn, but we could be at a point where we turn and suddenly move upward. But I'm just kind of sitting on my hands at this moment. Now, the small caps, they've been just getting a tighter and tighter range sideways. Like I've been following this. I had this range out here since probably July, where we were testing the top and bottom of this bigger range, and we just kept on doing it. Now we've kind of tightened up to this tighter range that I drew these orange lines, and we just keep staying inside here. And the bottom keeps being support, the top keeps being resistance. At some point, we're going to get the end of this somewhere out here, maybe toward the end of the year. We're either going to pop out or we're going to pop down, which is, obvious, right? But at some point, we're going to go one way or the other, and it's probably going to be a violent move once that happens. So that's something to keep in mind. This Russell chart, it's tightening up more and more. So oil, it's reaching the first target resistance zone up here that I've been looking for a while. I've been talking about it going to 80 to 85 zone. We've got up to 80, touched 81. We've had trouble breaking through it for 2 days now. I'll zoom up on it here. We came up and we hit that resistance yesterday, retested again today. It may take another couple days before we start moving up, but if we start arcing down, we're probably going to come back at least to the 76, 77 level one more time, all the way back down where we had this last consolidation right here. So oil still looking very bullish to me right now. Gold still looking very bearish to me right now. We did get a swift bounce up off the bottom of this channel when we tried to break below it. You can't quite see it for the red arrow, but we tried to break below it right here, and then we swiftly ran back up to the top of this channel we've been in for all of September. Now we're kind of floating here sideways at the weekly pivots. We've had 1, 2, 3 weekly pivots. We're just kind of consolidating in between there. If you're not able to see it too great, draw a box. We're just kind of hanging around those right there. Now, if we move away from that area, break above this line, then we're going to meet this resistance up here around 1830, 1840. If we don't start breaking above that trend line in this up here, then I still think we're probably headed down to the 1670 area before we meet the ultimate bottom in gold for this correction that's been taking place for a while. Pretty much all of the year. Since last summer, actually. Just been in this consolidation correction. Made a low back here in March. We made our high last summer in August. And we're just consolidating at the bottom of the range. So that's gold. All right. Now, for those of you that know, I make some bold crypto predictions. We'll run through a few of those. You're welcome to ask anything in the chat. Now, give it the attention I can. So Bitcoin, I was predicting it was going to run up to this 1272 level at the minimum at 56,000. And we got there. We came up quickly, kind of found some little resistance. Then we popped it yesterday, kind of came back down below it today. I expect us to build a few more days and then pop up to the 1618 level at roughly 61,000. Now those levels may be different on different versions of my charts, but right now, yeah, if I turn the log scale on, it jumps just a little bit to 57,200. And that puts the next level up right around 63, yeah, 63,200 or so. So this right now has a great effect on Mara. And as I talked about in another session of mine, throw this up on here. You pull this back just a little bit. So on this run up we had in August and September, Mara, which I just overlaid on here, was outperforming a little bit. And as we pulled back They came back in sync. And now Mara kind of caught up yesterday on this little pop. It was lagging last week. It caught up, and we're just kind of hanging with the candles today. So Mara's kind of in line with Bitcoin right now. They're very correlated. So if Bitcoin's having a good up day, then Mara's probably going to have a good up day. If Bitcoin's having a bad day, then Mara's probably going to be having a bad day. So if you're in echo trades, I'll try to put out a little bit of information on Mara as we approach the expiration this Friday. Ethereum. Now, Mara is not too tightly correlated with Ethereum. But Ethereum is kind of struggling at this 618 level right here, getting some sideways consolidation. It tried to break above, couldn't hold it on. So right now, it's just in a consolidation at this 618. It has not made a higher high like Bitcoin has. And Bitcoin broke solidly above the high we made in early September, whereas Ethereum has stalled out just above the 618 level here. We're right on it today, right? Currently we're almost right on it. So what we need is this thing to get a move up and away from the 618 and make some new highs, and we can get up these target levels. All right. Now HUT, it had trouble breaking to a new high from above the September high. So right now it's just kind of trying to break into this consolidation box. Where does the consolidation box come from? It comes from this giant tail that we had back early in February this year. Try to get it where we can see it. See, it had this giant tail on top of this candle back in February 22nd. So I drew a box and brought it all the way across, and that's proving to be some resistance. So above that orange line, and we can see the move to the top, breaking out above 1309 is going to be super bullish, and we'll see 1577 probably pretty quickly. All right. Now, everybody's used to me talking about cryptos and stuff like that, but here's one that might be a little interesting to look at. If you don't otherwise have a way that keeps up with me on some of the chats I'm in during the day, which not all my members do. Some people that are in other services with me will see me chat. I have added some position on BBIG the last couple of weeks. And right now it's set up in a short squeeze and gamma squeeze type situation. Now, I'm not saying go buy shares. I'm not saying go buy calls. I'm not saying go do anything, but it's one you might keep an eye on. If this one can start making a higher high than what we had right over here, which today we just kind of tested it. If we can break above that orange line right there around 64, 66 or 64, 60, 70, somewhere right in there. It's not, I didn't quite draw it straight. We break above that, then we are likely to quickly see a move back up in this area. Anywhere from 11 to 12, maybe even if we break above that prior high around 1250, we could see a true squeeze setup going. Like for anybody that saw SPRT or GME early in the year or AMC early in the year, this one could be set up. So BBIG is also a crypto play, and they have something called Cryptide that they're about to spin off, and that there's a shareholder meeting coming up in 2 days on the 14th, and then they're going to vote on what happens next week, and they may do the spinoff next week. So there's some catalyst that could cause this thing to pop. So I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying, hey, watch it. Keep an eye on it. You could get in with a few shares. You could get in with one call if you're, want to throw a few cents at it. So I'm just throwing it out there. Should you be in CF? Well, that's up to you. I put out CF was an echo trade, and I put out the conservative exit, and I still have the aggressive trade on in all my accounts. So I'm still holding it for now. Today was just a blah day in the market. We tried to go higher. We tried to go lower. If we look at a lower time frame here for the day, and today we started out, we tried to break higher. We ended up kind of coming down and just kind of consolidating down here, but it's inside the day for yesterday. Zoom back over to the day chart. Well, it's inside. We're below the action for yesterday. We're inside the action that we've had for the last week. That's what I meant to say. All right. That's awesome, Patrick. Let me grab that for my team. My team loves to hear when you guys do awesome work. Patrick, that is awesome. He says he made a fair amount of money on 8 contracts trading CF. So that's really cool. Awesome job, Patrick. Great work. You pushed the buttons. It wasn't me. I just pointed out the possible opportunity. Let me post that over to my team real quick. All right. Moving on. So let me see. Any other Apple? You guys want me to look at Apple real quick? We looked at NASDAQ, and Apple is a major component. Do I have Apple up here? I don't see it. It's probably in there somewhere. Oh, there it is right there. All right, Apple. It came up to this support orange line that I had over here. Failed with a big topping tail. Failed to break it up through here. It's actually a fib level. The 382 couldn't break up above it. It's just kind of consolidating. It's still very similar to the NASDAQ at this point. Let's see if I can remove some of these arrows off of here so we can see just a little bit better. All right. Trash. This little arrow, trash it. Did break above that orange line. We got a little pop. We've come right back down today. Not the best looking candle. It did engulf the body of the day before, but it's still hanging out in the top range of this consolidation over here. So there's a lot of something where I have to work through. So mixed news from the government, from all sorts of things. All right. Let's see. See some questions on. All right, Matt. See you later, buddy. All right, we got lots of questions on different ones. So I'll pull them up and we can kind of talk about it and see, some high level stuff. All right. So first off, I see PLTR. I typed a P first. Come on, man. All right, PLTR. I have this giant consolidation zone drawn on here. We tried to break out of it right up here. And I mentioned if it couldn't hold it, then it might run back down to the bottom of the range. Right now, it's just back to the 144 EMA. So it's just hanging out right in the middle. So right now, I'd say it continues sideways until it either gets a solid move above what is now this area around 29.45, or we break out below here, which, could be a short trade, but it's not guaranteed. It's probably just going to mess around, fart around sideways in this box until such time as it breaks above this 29.45 area. All right. Next question was, whoops, that wasn't right. Go back down. Stem. Another one that looks not so awesome. We tried to break above the 618, could not do it. So I'm kind of expecting a lower low at this point. How low a lower low? Well, use this flip tool right here, make an echo off of here, and it may go all the way to $3. Probably not awesome if you're long, but that one could get under $3 before it finds the bottom. All right. Thoughts on CELH? We'll go through a few of these before we jump over to something else. CELH. I can't read. I read a whole lot off teleprompters today. All right. CE. Man, I can't even get that. CELH. There we go. That That's an uptrend. Pretty good uptrend. So it's been around, like it's CELH, Celsius Holdings. It's got some history. Goes back quite a ways, it looks like, unless I pulled up the wrong thing. It's been on a bullish go here. Let's see if from this prior pullback over here. Yeah, we're up in clear air. It looks like it could go to 107 based on that pullback we had in early 2021. Move that off and look at the current pullback we had from the summer. Yeah, stalling at the 618, but we could go up to the, there's some fib confluence between this pullback and this pullback at this 107 to 110, 111 area. So next run higher is probably going to go right up in this area right there. All right. Let's see, Xerox is the next one. Okay. Yeah, XRX. I thought it was XRX. I couldn't remember. That one, man. Not looking so hot right there. Let's see. Go off the low here. Oop, wrong tool. Yeah, we could see a pullback on down to 19 maybe. Where am I getting that? Oh, I ran that giant run up off the bottom, and the 618 level is right down here around 19. So if it heads on down, which it certainly looks like it might at this point, yeah, 19. It's kind of like a double confirmation. So I think it may be headed into that zone right there. If it finds a bottom there, that's super bullish. If it doesn't find a bottom there, then it might be heading down to a lower low below 14. All right. Yeah, there's all sorts of chip shortages everywhere. All right, SHIB, the Doge killer. That one is a little on the new side. We're talking about something that trades in, what is that, 5 decimal points at least before you get to a number. I'm not super bullish on this, mainly because, let's see, is that the list? Yeah, right here. Let's check this out. Where's SHIB on this list? Right there. SHIB right there has not millions, not billions, but 394 trillion coins. And it's not limited. There's unlimited supply. Well, supply and demand curve says when you have unlimited supply, prices go down. So, just saying, I'm not super bullish on SHIB, even though it's ranked 20 on the market cap. With unlimited supply, and you're pumping out thousands of more every few minutes, that's not very good for long-term price appreciation. So, all right, I can look at CCJ. Let's see if I get this typed in properly. My fingers and my. Oh, that's a heck of a candle today. If you were long, that looks awesome. Hell, that was a perfect echo too. That's a long entry right there for echo trades. For an echo trade setup, looking up for 28 to 30, be the target area. Right up in there. All right, moving on. MOS, yeah, I had a box of support right there. It kind of held it and took off. So MOS is looking up. How high, you say? Well, we just got to the 1272, so the 618 is the next 1618 is the next level, around 44. Got lots of crude stocks or good opportunities right now. All right. Yeah, gold futures are in a downtrend. I would not jump on the miners until something started looking better, Carla. We can look at GDX, talk about it briefly, but that's a big, like right there, it already broke through and made a new low. So just looking at a corrective pattern here with an A, B, and a C, that puts us looking all the way down to around the 2550 area before this move down equals this move down. This sucker could work on down for another little while before we find a bottom. Could be looking right down like that before we find a bottom. All right. Sideways market and options. That was we're working on something for you, okay, genius. All right, my thoughts on ARKG. ARKG. Well, my first glance, having never looked at this before, looks like that's the downtrend. And my guess would be for this here. We may see a move down to this fib line right there at 51.27. May, it doesn't have to, but right now it is breaking lower than right there, which indicates that 1, 2, 3. Elliott wave has a 3-wave correction where the first move down, you're going to move up as the second move, and then the third move down. And those first and third moves, more often than not, tend to be exactly the same size. So that right there would be what I was looking for ARKG. All right. Net has not come up on anything I was watching. It could be a short squeeze. I don't have my platform logged in. I can look it up and possibly update something about that after the session. But it looks like a heck of a run if you were long on that one. All right. We will post this replay on YouTube. All right. We officially 1 quadrillion, Darren says. Yeah, I'll throw up Tesla real quick. We can talk about that one. That broke above the 618. So next target up with a 272 around 834. Bucking the trend on the NASDAQ. Tesla's going for it. Looks like 834 would be a good upside target right there. All right. Speaking of Tesla, let's use that as a segue here. Anybody able to tell me what other company that Elon Musk spends a lot of his time doing? Anybody? You know what? First one that puts the correct answer up. You got to write the whole company name. There we go, Greg. I'm going to give you, Greg, put your email in there in the chat for me. I'm going to have Stephen give you this report that we're about to talk about here. So, SpaceX was the correct guess. So one last thing I want to talk about before we go. I have a potential 900% trade. All right. So you guys are going to be the first ones to hear about this profit wave report. So Stephen, let's give Greg a copy of this report since he guessed it first. All right. Now, any successful trading strategy relies on diversity. All right. You have to have a mix of sectors, different trade types, and other factors for your best results when you're trading. And one major factor to take into account is time frame. So short-term trades are great and that can make up a majority of your trading approach, but they often miss out on the massive potential of an upside long-term trading setup. So every once in a while, I discover a trade that's setting up over a matter of months, or in this case, even years. And these trades don't fit my traditional echo trades or profit roadmap strategies, although they tend to be related. I use the same kind of base stuff, but it's like way further out there in time. But they still have incredible potential, and I want you to hear about them. So I issue these special reports that are called profit wave reports. So let's talk about my first profit wave report I put out all the way back in July. It was on UCO. When I first recommended UCO, I was expecting a huge surge in oil prices to drive up the price of this oil-based ETF. And back in mid-July, UCO stood about 75.50 or so. And there were some big panic points along the way and some sell-offs, and it really tested my support and some support of the people, some of the followers. But here's the chart. We had this recommendation. We kind of had some drops in here and some tests of our will to hold on to the trade. But for those that did, you may be up as much as 180% in my own account right now. It was about 95.50 yesterday. Today, seen a little bit of a churn on oil, but it's still right in that neighborhood. And I'm going to keep holding this UCO because I still see future in that trade. Now, I've got my eyes on another new long-term play for you, and I'm putting it out, and it's based on a new technology with explosive growth potential. Now, you may know that SpaceX is not a public company, but I have uncovered some stuff that I think has, it's part of this whole thing that's going in, this SpaceX is doing. So I've got this play right here. This is the chart. This kind of shows you the growth potential. It's already got this awesome setup where it's breaking to new highs. And I want to give you all the details on this new ultra long-term trade and the new profit wave report. So it's brand new. Today is the first time anybody can get in on this. The last profit wave report, the latest profit wave report is available for $20. Now, compared to some of the profits that some people have had, and Joseph, I see you right there in the chat, man, that's incredible, awesome. So this new opportunity is setting up now. It's not lithium. So you can be the very first to read it. All right, is everybody ready for this? Are you ready? Go to jeffreytrader.com/PRWave, PRWAVE, or call 561-770-3865. All right, nobody else has gotten this. You guys here tonight are the first ones to get it. So I'll follow up with any questions. Greg already got his copy for free. Awesome, Greg. My team will be sending you that report, Greg. All right, anybody got any other questions? What is it? I'm not gonna answer that. You'll have to get the report and see. I will tell you it's out longer than a year, like this trade. It's a nice long-term trade. Now this is a one-time, one trade, $20. It's one trade for $20. All the details. All right. I've got the whole, all the information in there. It's not super expensive. All right, Patrick's in, awesome. Love it. We'll have this available, but right here, right now, this is the first chance to get it. This is, right after I picked the entry and everything. So for my loyal followers, this is the newest, best setup I have for a long term. And it does run out beyond 2022. All right, you're welcome, Greg. Thanks for coming. Anybody have anything else? We're going to try to keep this to a half hour on Tuesdays. So I just want to thank you all for coming. Remember, go to jeffreytrader.com/PRWave or call 561-770-3865. Thank you all for coming. We're going to wrap it up here. The boss, you wave bye to everybody. Pop on and wave.
Bye.
All right. We'll see everybody later. Gigi says hi.
Hi, Gigi.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you again soon. I'll be back next week.